Okay, you got my Google Photos, right? They organize these pictures, but I'll show you, because I mentioned a lot of names in my videos. So I'll quickly scroll this, and you can see who these people are. The women are all My Free Cams girls, with family involved, in almost all cases. Some of these they stuck there that came from screenshots that has nothing to do with anything, so you'll see that going along. But these are all people involved. I won't get into each one's involvement right now. You can see some of the descriptions on each one, kind of. But all these people that I've written the names on are pretty much involved in my the murder attempts, the cover-up of the murder attempts, and the pending murder, as it's I'm terminal, so when I die it will be considered a murder. So they all have involvement at some degree. Now here's Derek Walker. See the guy in the middle? He might be related to Obama. He was the chef at Bread and Roses, which is a big deal. If he's related to Obama, that is a huge deal. That pretty much is a solid proof, which I already know Obama ordered the weapon used. But if he's related to Obama, that's whoops. Let me go back. Obviously, that's a big deal, to say the least. To figure, because he left, as did staff, when I returned from Connecticut. After they tried killing me, I went home to Connecticut, and they found out I didn't know my family was involved, and so forth. So they all fled when I came back. Everybody, all the staff at St. Joseph's, Eric Rudd of Salvation Army, a whole bunch of people took off. But let me go down the list. I'll start again so you can see. That's me in the middle, the top, obviously. They organized these photos. I did not. All these photos, Google does. I take, most of these came from videos. I don't take photos, except in the beginning I did, because I wasn't sure. And then I started taking video and I stopped. So if these are pictures, these are from the beginning kind of thing. So I don't take pictures anymore. I take videos and I rarely go back and watch them. So they get put here, and this is what they do with them. So anyway, let's do it. And you will see many relatives in here, if you really look, of each other. But so when I mention names, here you go. These are the names. There's Veronica. She's a big figure in the top left. Then below is my father, my two sisters, Lynn and Melanie. Lynn's husband's in the CIA. Gabriella right there to the left was my case manager at St. Joseph's. She was one who left when I returned from Connecticut. That's her hair, at least last it was on Twitter. That's not how her hair looked when she was at St. Joseph's. She had long hair. There's Ronnie, top left, who was on 3rd Ave during the murder attempts. She's a huge figure in this case. She was 2 spots from where I was. And let me go up top real quick. That's my brother Jeff, top left. Eric Garcetti, the mayor of LA. Obviously they're all important, so I can't name them all. I'm just going. My mom, in the right, see the right, Susan Eads. She's the one who got the cyanide in 2007, to give you an idea. And she had her husband killed too, my father, right there in the top left. 2003, my dad died. What they did was, government is able to get rid of people under the cover of cancer treatment. And my mother and my family, who are in the Central Intelligence Agency, managed to get that for my father. So he was put under cancer treatment, a slow, painful death, and they had him killed. You can hear it in my sister's audio on the Easter conversation in 2017. It's on my Facebook. It's not many posts down. You can look at it right now and listen to it. It's my most viewed post ever. 4,000 people listened to that. At least some portion of it they listened to. I encourage everybody to listen to it. My sister goofs and gives up that they murdered my dad. Once you understand they had me killed, it is not hard to figure that they had him killed. Forget what she said in the video or the audio. So there's no doubt about it. They had him killed. At retirement, the guy worked his whole life, long hours, and at retirement, he got diagnosed with cancer, and they had him killed through the treatment. A nice slow death. That's his mother at the top right, Alma. Let's see. Now, if you look at the top left, see this Miss Crazy relative? That's a St. Joseph's Jesuit, a person at St. Joseph's. And see her at the top left? Can you see the resemblance right there? When the assault and robbery happened, they were all told that day I was going to die that night. I know because they were told in their earpieces. At the library, they're a CIA. This is a CIA person. I can tell by the reaction of them all. So I had a heads up. And as you can see the relation, they all knew it was coming. I survived it, as you could see in the video. I had a gun on me. They were trying to get me to chase the guy. Watch the video, you can tell. He was unarmed, but the people around him weren't. And they were trying to get me to, but I had to look like I was the aggressor before they can shoot me, to make it look good. And it would have covered up my murder, covered up all them all involved, including my mother, who knew about it as well. So anyway, Trump is there. My sister Heather, she's the one in the Easter conversation, right in the middle there. And then you had Anna Vestano right here to the right of her, worked at Bread and Roses, where they serve food. She's related to Gail Schlossberg. And you have the Santa Monica City Council and police are in relation to them as well, which is why I'm getting the problems I'm getting here. They keep stealing my stuff, the guitars, to cover up my murder. Because if I have guitar audio clips of songs like Cliffs of Dover, it would destroy the murder cover-up. So they stole my guitar, or ability to reproduce or record something. Chris Dodd was one of the ones who got the cyanide from my mother. It was Chris Dodd and Jody Rowe, the governor. Officer Holloway, he's in the Estevez Sheen family. You know Emilio Estevez? And also related to Fun Brunette and Poker Stars, who I'll get to soon. All right, see Pedro. Pedro on the top right. He might be, oh, damn it, Google. See Sin City V? They might be related. Now, there might be a Kobe Bryant relation as well. So let's take a look at her and think Kobe Bryant. So I'll give you a little context. Pedro was the one who told me about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant might be related to Pedro. Kobe Bryant has some Asian in him for sure. Which is why he got the name Kobe. Even though they say it's named after Kobe beef, likely named after Kobe, Japan? Anyway, that's speculation. But as far as Kobe's, let's not get into Kobe anymore. So Eric Rudd, he's the one at the Salvation Army who left after I returned from Connecticut, as did the St. Joseph staff. And they said he was deathly ill. Well, he's still alive. Now you have a cam model, Kickas. See the left? She's related to Mr. Vi, Steve Vai. Look at her face. Not hard to see. Sapien. He's the one who provided the prescription for what ultimately was cyanide. It was pre-planned. He knew it was the end. He knew about it. I got the cyanide from my mom. After we went to see him and he pulled my tooth, he gave the prescription, and we went to the Stop and Shop. I don't know if it's Rite Aid or CVS in Milford on Old Gate Lane. There, everybody knows the Stop and Shop there. The pharmacy there provided, or at least that's where my mom got it. I don't know if somebody walked up to her and handed it to her, or what happened. But here, let me turn this off. That's not smart. I hope it didn't shut off. It doesn't appear to be, because I've had that happen before where it shuts off. Okay. Adam Blum was discussed in my conversation with my sister, so if you listen to that, there he is in the top left. Stephen Colbert, I didn't put him there. That was one of those things that where you took a YouTube screenshot and he was in it. It's just so. He's in the cult, by the way. Agent Mertz, she was the agent in charge in New Haven who helped cover up the attempted murder. I didn't know it was. As with Blumenthal as well, Richard Blumenthal, who was Attorney General of the state of Connecticut. So what they did, the state of Connecticut put on a big cover-up and changed the laws and stuff back in 2010, I think it was. I'm not going to get into that too much. Phil Galfond, that's another one of those screenshots. Shouldn't be there. He's a poker player. He's in this cult. He's mic'd up just like everybody you've seen in this thing. Karen Slano, my former neighbor in Connecticut, who I've mentioned a lot. Now, since I don't see her anymore, what they do is they take vehicles like her type and her sister, which I think is down. Yeah, she's down later, so we'll get to that. Noah Wiener was like second at Salvation Army. I've talked to him. There's Mosen from Brentwood. He was tasked. He's a CIA guy and a doctor. He was tasked to see how bad I was injured after they tried to kill me in 2016. And I went to try to get SSI with him. And when I was declined, he made me leave the same day. And he was not aware, at least I didn't tell him, that I was declined. So, anyway. Mike Bonan's the councilman who represents this area where they killed the homeless. Katie Newell, my sister Heather's daughter, who was discussed in the audio of the Easter. So you'll hear her, so there she is. Outrageous one, I think, is related to Fun Brunette, who's going to come up soon. Okay, Kathy Marquez, top left. She was on 3rd Ave across the street. She might be related to Jim Pizzetchko and so forth. She's a big part of it. Cortez was in Bread and Roses. Chef James was after I returned and the other chef left. Derek. James was one of them. They had a couple sit-ins. When the guy admitted it was a cult, this girl, see the middle Fun Brunette relative, was right with him. Remember that video I have where the guy admits, you goddamn right it's a cult. I said, you're a religious cult, and he said, you goddamn right. She was right with him. Fun Brunettes in the federal government, so just to give you an idea. He was on 3rd Ave. The guy to the top left, son of the federal judge, was on 3rd Ave during the murder attempts, at least the first one. Fun Brunette, that's the picture she used on Poker Stars, but that's not what she looks like. Manny Delgado's another one who worked in the kitchen at Bread and Roses. He's well aware that weapon was used on me. Evelyn was one who, at Bread and Roses as well, one of the people who poses as homeless. Kevin Ricardo, one of the two, on the left is Bread and Roses. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going into everybody here. Bob, the security at St. Joseph's, was well aware that weapon was used on me in 2016. He was there prior. Oh, okay, here's the guy right there. Goddamn right, it's a cult. See him? She was with that guy. And then Eric Brent. There's Eric Brent, the guy who I mentioned in the audio as well with my sister, was the one in Connecticut who vetted me for this cult prior to me getting poisoned with cyanide to see if I qualified. And obviously that didn't work out. Warren was in the kitchen as well. Detective Leone's the one who covered up the assault and robbery and also the theft of my bike. They stole my bike, and he aided in that cover-up. It's posted on Facebook. You can see the pictures he showed me. Kerry Rudd left as well with Eric at the Salvation Army after I returned. Mike Blazin, he was the one who befriended me when I got out here. He was the main person tasked in the cover-up as far as leading me around from place to place. So he was number one. He was the first guy. Let's see. The guy in the middle, Eric Bennett relative, you may notice him in multiple videos. Mike McCoy, you'll see him with Ronnie. All right, the guy at the top left. See him? He poses as homeless. And if you look up in my, you can reverse the video or rewind it when you see it. The woman at the Jack in the Box, the old lady, you can see the relation with him and her. They both serve and pose as homeless. All right, Elliot Christopher Robin Boyce was another one who befriended me and he was the poker angle. He was the guy who knew how to play poker and so forth. So Dominic was involved prior to 2015, 2016. I was hit with a weapon. I saw him a few years ago. I said, you belong in prison. He says, you belong dead. That's what he said. And he's the guy who threw the cigarette. You can see it in the video. And he punched me twice. I pepper sprayed him. So I chased him. So this is context. I chased him and pepper sprayed him. And I got pepper spray in my own eye. So when I went to wash it at the sink, I got punched in the face again with pepper spray in my eyes. And on the video goes. That was, I think, I don't remember, November, like 3 years ago or so. Something like that. You can check my Facebook. Moira is Moira, one of her names. I'm not sure her name. She's a nice girl, but she was the hostess at the time of the assault robbery at Bread and Roses. She's also related to the Miss Crazy and the other one I showed you. They full well knew it was a murder attempt prior. Alan Newell might be the father of my sister's husband, Paul. He invented artificial intelligence, the computer technology that's running it out here. So he's a big person, but he's dead. He died a long time ago. There's Fun Brunette in the middle. That's what she really looks like. She's in the Estevez Sheen family, I believe. Her name is Kelly here. Her name was Lisa when I was in Connecticut. She showed me her FBI special agent badge. I saw it on Skype. I did not get to screenshot it. I tried. She would not show it again. I was going to screenshot it. She tried to get me to phone sex with her on Skype, and I wouldn't do it. So they never got it. Anything else about her? All right. Okay, the one in the middle there on the top is the one who threw the my juice at me after in that video. So, yeah, that okay. Ray was at the Salvation Army prior. He was there a little after too, but he's gone now. At least the last I've seen. Tony, my sister Melanie's former husband. I went to the Steve Vai concert with him in 2000 or 1999, one of the two, to see his Ultrazone tour concert, where I actually got to shake Steve Vai's hand. And the only reason I did was because Tony said, "There he is, go up to him," and I did. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. To the right of him is that female doctor, the old lady. She's one of the people who gets a vote out here. They have panels that decided I had to die when I said the homeless were killed, because they killed the homeless out here. And she's she's on that panel. She's one of those doctors who poses as homeless. Top right, Lucas. He's the video guy of Steve Vai's video. He's I'm still working on who he's in. One of these families. Just look at his face. It's likely the assault and robbery. They took my guitar and put it in that video as a cult, and then as a cult ritual. And then on my birthday, October 23rd, the video was released and posted on my YouTube. It was the first video to show, so they can get kicks out of it as I watched it at the library, the CIA library. Pretty clever, right? The song was a 2-year-old song. How many people do you know make a video 2 years after the song? Unless it's it becomes a super hit kind of thing later on, which isn't the case with Steve Vai, of course. Now, Joshua Michael Sapphire, doctor, at the top left, he's the one who falsified my MRI, which shows the cyanide damage, which is on my Facebook. So that MRI you see on Facebook is from him. He said they didn't see that. Something is going on when he saw my CAT scan, because you could see the bleeding during. Now, the doctor of the CAT scan supposedly died at age 35 or something, a young age, a female. Bullshit, she didn't die. They just covered it up to cover up my murder. So he's a doctor. When he admitted it, that's when Chris Dodd and Jody Rell basically said, "We're not running for re-election anymore." So his admission was huge. But I didn't record any of them, which was a huge mistake, because I thought it would come back to bite me if I did, because I thought there was some honesty in government, and it turns out no, I made a big mistake not recording them. So anyway, now the guy to the top right was at the library. The morning after I was assaulted, I went to the library, and he was talking into his mic. He said, "You had him in a headlock and you let him go." The guy had me in a headlock and he let me go. And I mentioned that in my post on Facebook. You can see it back in the day. All right, let's see. The guy in the middle here, I think, might be one of the EMT guys in Connecticut when I got poisoned, if I recall that picture. I don't know if it's Nolan or there's another guy. Patrick Nolan and somebody else. I'd have to look it up. It's been a while. The right, you got the server at Bread and Roses. Left, St. Joseph's girl. Do I know who she is? I'm not sure. Top left, another guy involved. See, a lot of these I gotta think a little bit about. The one in the middle top is also a server at a Bread and Roses, all involved. Okay, she was a hostess, the top left, at Bread and Roses. Let's see. Okay, the guy in the middle is one of those CIA. Well, I'll forget about him. Okay, you got Nicole Solano, top right. There you go, Nicole Solano and Karen Solano. Those are two of the people heavily that they're covering for using vehicles out here that I keep showing you. And she might be related to Joe Zarota, the guy who used the weapon. So, now these kids' pictures they put here, I didn't. I would never stick somebody's kids' photos here. But what happens is they take their pictures on Facebook with their kids, in most cases, or many cases. So when you post a picture, you want it to be a complete picture. I do, anyway. And it has a kid, and then Google put it there as a separate. So, just so you know. Let's see. Anybody else? See, now we're getting to people who... There's some involved. The one in the middle, she was one of the people running Bread and Roses when I started going. And there's pictures of her with Eric Garcetti all over the place, to say the least. Top left, that guy's heavily involved as well. He's definitely in the Arnold Schwarzenegger side of the things. Take a look at him. All right, let's see. Anybody else? Okay, the woman in the middle. She's the one with the glasses who held the magnifying glass up. She was trying to see how far along the tumor was in my head. You can tell by looking into a person's eyes because of their optic nerve moves, and the pathways all get moved by the mass in the brain. So you can tell, an expert can, and she was trying to see back when I had a shitty phone and didn't have a good camera. Now I have a good camera. They can probably see just from my phone, so they don't need to do that anymore. That was early on. That was a while ago. And she has relatives on the My Free Cams too, I believe. Justin, top left. My sister Heather's son, also involved. Let's see. Like I said, most of these people are involved or in the cult. Then you see Richard Pryor. This is stuff they did from screenshots from YouTube. So Richard Pryor obviously wasn't involved in my... So, just to give you an idea. All right. Now, the guy in the middle, is the top middle, is the guy at the volleyball court who I think could have been the guy who did the assault robbery. Dimitri. Not guaranteed, but everybody out here knows who it is, who did it. It's no secret. This guy knew. And they sure acted guilty, I'll say that much. But they could have did a good acting job, as these people run government. And they've done this all before, and they know how to do it. And they know how to cover up. And they're very smart. So they know how to play somebody who looks like the witness and acts like they're guilty, but they're not. To really, trust me, these people know what the fuck they're doing. They're very good. So I'm not confirming or denying he's the guy who did it. The video speaks for itself. The guy in the video is the guy who did it. So we could find out who that guy is. But like I said, they're all mic'd up. They all knew about it. And then you got like Dorian Yates, top right. Obviously, he's in the cult. So if you didn't know that, but he's not involved in my case as far as I know, of course. Okay, that's all. They don't have nearly everybody on here, but that's a good rundown real quick of who many of these people are. Jeff, my brother Jeff, is one they're covering for. He's the Avalanche. So when I show you videos of the Avalanche, it's to cover for Jeff. Let me do that real quick. Yeah, Avalanche, Jeff. They don't really do Lynn. I haven't seen Lynn in years. Melanie, yeah, a little bit, but not. I haven't really posted her. Now, my mom and my brother Scott. Scott, I do not have a picture of. He does not have pictures on. He's not on Facebook. I do have him in the picture on my Facebook where you can see the whole family. You can see Scott in the blue shirt. So my mom's the Xterra. So when you see the Xterra shots, it's to for reference to my mother and my brother Scott. Heather is the minivan. Not always maroon, but the Dodge minivan or Chrysler or the General Sense. See the woman on the top left? She was a server at Bread and Roses. Why that guy I showed you is a guy who posed as homeless. So they have servers and people posing as homeless. Let's see. Becky was the former Baywatch and not Baywatch. She was on I think the intro, the song anyway. She was on the Slaughter Up All Night video. She might have a Playboy background as well. She was the one they had come in my tent on 3rd Ave. And when I found out she was a cop, that's when I got hit with the weapon. She's got a very powerful family out here. So, let's see. Yeah, that's the woman at Jack in the Box. See the right, I'm sorry. So you have people serving homeless, posing as homeless, and then this woman at Jack in the Box. And, yeah, big family. Powerful family. Don't be fooled at Jack in the Box. They're rich people. Karen is the Altima. They use a Nissan Altima for her, and the Nissan Sport Utility vehicle I show you. I don't know if it's the Rogue. I know that's one. I couldn't tell you her exact model. Just like with Nicole's BMW, they always do. I can't tell you which model she had. I just know she had a white BMW, and they use that. And what they do is they run it across you a gazillion times and just try to get they film it every time and trying to get some kind of reaction to cover up the murder and their involvement in covering up my murder kind of thing, or in the murder. Let's see, is there anybody else real quick? Now Nicole's husband, the top left, they use he had what is it? A Mazda, right? Mazda, I believe Mazda. That's what they're doing for him. but not as often. Obviously, the BMW's more, but they're doing him more now lately than they were at a high rate. So he's a Mazda vehicle, like a sporty vehicle. I don't know what it is, like the RX-7 maybe, something like that, if I recall. Let's see. All right, you get the idea. The people who are most involved in Connecticut, Eric Brandt as well. They use the Honda Accord for him because that's what he used at the time. And the thing is, they have footage of this stuff from prior to the murder attempts, and they want to show it. So what they had to do was get me to talk about it as well. So that's another reason. They're going to show stuff that shows they did the attempted murder I'm telling you about, but I'm going to be dead when they show it. And they're going to try to justify it when I'm dead, but by staging all this bullshit that's untrue, and they're going to show it when I'm dead and can't respond to it. And you're not going to believe how they got it if you don't hear from me, because it is quite sophisticated how they got it. So anyway, like sticking hidden cameras with my phone kind of thing. You can create a lot of bullshit with that. So, I do not know what Karen Solano's voice sounds like. I do not know what Nicole Solano's voice sounds like. I've never seen either of them close up before. Neither of the two ever said a word to me about any problems before I was poisoned in 2007. I never took pictures of Karen or Nicole before I was poisoned in 2007. To give you an idea, now to kind of give you, Anyway, to kill anybody without any kind of warning, any kind of charges, a trial, a lawyer, is an international crime, just like Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden committed, which means Chris Dodd, Jody Rell, and all the participants are supposed to go up before the Hague in criminal court for attempted murder and ultimately going to be the murder of a guy who had no criminal record. And the Santa Monica City Council belongs in the Hague. So does Eric Garcetti, the mayor of LA. And the Venice Council as well. The Venice City Council, the Santa Monica City Council, as I was in Venice where the weapon was used, they originally got me to Venice when I got out here, where it was staged, most of it. And then Santa Monica has been a lot of we're involved as well. But I was in Venice also equally, as that's where 3rd Ave is. It's right across the border in Venice. So the Venice City Council is just as involved. Santa Monica City Council and Obama, the president who ordered the weapon, belongs before the Hague for attempted murder of a U.S. citizen who was then disabled. A brain-damaged disabled guy with no trial, no warning, nothing. Hit him with a military weapon. As Chris Dodd and Jody Rell provided a military-type poison, cyanide, to a U.S. citizen who had no criminal record, no warning, no trial, no charges, no lawyers, nothing. Got a death sentence 3 times. And the hospital participated to have me go back on the pill, and they also handed me a pill in the 3rd attempt on the return to the hospital. So the Milford Hospital, the staff who was involved belongs before the Hague. There's just so many people involved, it is ridiculous. And the connection are Catholics, formed their own society. They are all mic'd up together, and they want the Bible enforced. I'm a sinner to them. They don't care. And that's the connection of all these people I've named. They're all Catholics. They're all mic'd up. And the goal is a world of Catholics only. I am not joking. I'm not wrong. And that's why all they say is, when I go up to them, is, you're fucking crazy. You're crazy, because it's the only defense they can possibly do. Anyway, let me end this fantastic screencast and post it on Facebook. Post it on iCloud because they have a 15-minute limit, so I'll have to put in pieces. Anyway, it is the 30th of October, 2020. Let me put my glasses on. I hate showing my eyes, which is bad because my eyes show my injuries. But here, I'll show you. There I am. I'm the narrator. My mask for the virus. We're not going to get into that. So there you are. There's a narrator. That's me. The victim. They belong before the Hague. Not to mention U.S. law. You're talking life in prison or worse for those people involved. But what happened to me was done by people with cyanide and that weapon used. The common guy doesn't know the effects of it. So all they do is say, well, doctors don't talk. And that's what's going on. Every doctor is under regulation from every state, from the federal government. And if they're told to shut up, they don't talk. So if you didn't know that, well, congrats, you do now. because they'll lose their license. Catholics own our whole system. I hate to tell you, they own the money system, and anybody they tell to shut up shuts up, or they lose everything. It's that simple. So anyway, long story short, I'm gonna end the video. It is 12:15 p.m. the 30th. I'm Jamie Eads, and I'm here. Let me just quickly show you. This is the iPhone 7. I got to give as much information as I can give to prove the timetable. 14.1 software, iPhone 7, and there you go. See that? AT&T is my carrier at the current moment. I'll even show you update. See, all right, now I shouldn't get into that garbage. Come on, hurry up. All right, there you go. All right, I'm out.